Words. They don't just communicate thoughts. They reveal the hidden things in our hearts. They don't just communicate ideas. They create worlds. The mouth and the words we say are a creative force that is not only used all the time, but everywhere we go. Our words are the very essence of how the Creator made us. Join us as we discover the essence of man and the power of speech. Hello, and welcome to day 63 of The Essence of Man and the Power of Speech. And today we're going to talk about a child's voice. Now, let me say this. We all know kids pick up things we say. I mean, how many times we say, man, you better be careful. Them kids, man, they listen to everything you say. But I don't think we really understand the power of that because of the fact that kids, not only do they pick up what we say, they say what we say. So the words we speak to children and about children set precedents for the future. And what I mean by that is this. You've heard it said most of our life that, you know, if you have a seed of a tree in your hand, you don't just have one tree, you have a whole forest. Because in that tree is other seeds to make other trees, and then those trees are other seeds to make other trees, and then it's multiplication, okay? So what I want you to understand is that when we speak words, whether they be Shem Rosh HaLashon or Lashon Hora, which is a good speech, or evil speech, children pick that up. And in the process of picking it up, they say it. When you say something to your children and they grow up, you've just created a world for them. And you're formatting their world, their perceptions, their ideas, their ideologies, their beliefs, through your words. And they grow up based upon these words that you have spoken. Now, what begins to happen, though, and here's what we don't think about, your words just don't stop. Because they carry your words to their children. You are a product, not of the words that were spoken by your parents. You are a product of the words spoken by great grandparents and all those who spoke into them. In other words, what I'm trying to get you to see is the words that you speak to children does not stop there. It will extend beyond that generation into many generations down the road. And that's kind of hard to believe when you think about it. I mean, you think about it. You are saying words that are impacting not just your children, but your children's 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 children. You don't believe me? Look at Abraham. You look at Abraham, it carried on to Isaac, Jacob, carried on down to David, carried on down to Christ, carried on down to the disciples, carried on down to you and I, and it carries on past us. Think about that. That's how far this whole thing goes. Is that when you say something, it doesn't just stop with your mouth. Matter of fact, it even goes before Abraham, to Noah, to Enoch, from Enoch on back to Adam. And this is the thing you have to understand. The words you're speaking to your children goes way beyond it. You know, the Bible says that we are when God breathed into to man, he became a talking spirit. A talking spirit. Spirit is eternal. Talking is eternal. Your words are eternal. That's why you're going to be judged by every idle word that you speak. We are judged by our word. By your words you're justified, by your words you're condemned. So watch this. When you speak into your children, it not only goes to your grandchildren eventually, but whoever they speak to. Their friends, their co-workers. Because they are a byproduct of your spiritual language, your DNA footprint of speech, we'll call it. Let's call it a DNA footprint of speech. And so what happens is that when they begin to speak, now granted, they'll develop their own language, but a lot of their language, vocabulary, thoughts, ideas, ideology is coming from you. Now if you think you don't have children, it doesn't apply to you, and your children are all grown and there ain't nothing you can do about it anymore, I got news for you. Anytime you're around children, whether you're a teacher, Sunday school teacher, college professor, whatever influence you have to speak in people's lives, this is the thing you have to think about. You are carrying on an eternal word into somebody that's going to impact not only them, but generations beyond you, just like the seed creates the forest. Even when it comes to writing a letter to somebody, like a note. Let's say you're a teacher and you're going to write something on a report card. I don't know if they still do that anymore, but when I was growing up, you kind of dreaded report card day. Not necessarily because of the grades you was going to get, but maybe because what they was going to write about you, Some kids had more problems than others. But the thing about it is, even how you word your letters to your children, your cards, birthday cards, however you word that. The written word is just as powerful as a verbal word. That's the difference between logos and rhema. You've got written and spoken word. You've got the written law, the oral law. Nevertheless, words are powerful in how they influence people and children. And as a process of that, what begins to happen is that we develop worlds to the children, but those children take those words that develop their world and they share that world with their children, who share that word with their children, who share that world with their children, and it goes on and on. And not just generations of children that you will have, but also to all of their friends, and their friends' friends, and their friends'. Words travel like the wind. That is a crazy thought, but it's the truth. Nevertheless, it's hard to imagine that that's how far your words go. But since words are seeds, spiritual seeds, that technically never die, they will influence beyond your lifetime. While you're dead and gone, absent from this world, your words are still going out in the atmosphere. They are still out there in the atmosphere, moving around. they are affecting spiritual things you don't see, but they're also being communicated to other people by the people that you spoke to before you left this universe or this domain, this world. And then, on top of that, whoever received your words are carrying those words, and then that continues on and on and on and on and on. Never stops. Potent thought for the day. So, what's your goal today? Watch what you really say around children now. Be careful what you say to anybody, because they don't just stop with you and them. They are carried on and on and on because you're establishing a belief system in somebody with the words that you speak. Okay? Hey, we'll see you next time on The Essence of Man and the Power of Speech. Have a good day.